Hey guys, I wanted to do a short video on a swedge block that I purchased back in January sometime. And before I got this, I had an 8x8 block of wood that I took, and using my flap disc, I made a couple depressions. I think the larger one was about 7 inches, 6.5, somewhere in that ballpark. And the smaller one on the opposite side was, I believe, 5 inches and wasn't as deep. But I'm a subscriber to Christ-Centered Ironworks, and I was watching a video that Roy and his wife Jessica posted at the beginning of January, I believe. Well, last year, 2020, they gave anvils away. They gave 12 anvils away, one per month, during their live streams that they do. And this year they decided that they were going to give away these swedge blocks. These swedge blocks are from Holland Anvil. They're 50 pounds, and they're 9 inches by 9 by 3 inches tall. It's a ductile iron swedge. Very durable. I believe the depression you see there, it's a 5-inch depression, and then there's on the edges, there's some half-round swedge and V swedges, and on the opposite side, some smaller round and a spoon, for I get even this for doing ladles, but I basically do it for small bowls. But when I first got it, I wanted to try it out right away, so I heated up some copper, and I made a little 3-inch diameter bowl. And the first thing I noticed was, because of how rough the surface was, all the imperfections were transferred over to the copper, which is understandable. I knew that was going to happen, but I figured, I'm just going to try it and see how bad it really is. Well, it was bad enough to the point where I couldn't keep making them with it in this condition. So I ended up getting a flap disc, and I hit the entire swedge, all sides. And where I could get into the depressions, I used the flap disc. I was able to get the V swedge. I was able to get those with the flap disc, but in the very point, which it was really rough. I ended up using a file to clean that up. I also rounded over all the edges were really sharp, so I rounded over all the edges. And then at the beginning, you could see I was cleaning it up with some acetone. You could use rubbing alcohol as well and do the same thing. Brake cleaner, just to get the dust and all the stuff off from sanding it. So when I decided to put the final finish on, I live in Northeast Ohio. It was really cold when I was doing this. I think when this video was shot, it was in the lower teens overnight. So, needless to say, the swedge was really cold, and I don't have heat running, 24/7 in the shop. I just turn it on or start a fire when I'm working. So, took a torch, one of the Harbor Freight weed killing torches, I think that's what they call them. Heated it up just enough to get that cold off. I could still touch it. And then I started applying some boiled linseed oil. And you'll see that periodically I'll stop and I'll grab the torch again and heat it up some more and put some more linseed oil on, heat it up some more. And so once this was done, and I'm probably going to do a video of maybe a small copper bowl that I did. They're really good sellers, and I'll tell you what, I made a small little 2-inch diameter copper bowl, and I had some scrap, and that's why I decided to I hate throwing away scrap I mean, sizes that you can work with, especially copper. Copper isn't cheap. So I cut little 2-inch diameter circles out of the scrap, and I made small dishes out of them, and then I flattened the bottom with I believe it was like a 3/4, 1-inch steel dowel, and just held it in the center, gave it a tap so that there was a nice flat area so that it wouldn't wobble on your table. And I started selling them as an incense cup. I don't know if you're familiar with the incense. Instead of the sticks, they have the little cones. And they really took off. People really like them. You know, you don't have to charge an arm and a leg for them. And my stuff is at a store here where I live. And I always like to have a variety of items. You know, I don't want everything to be high priced. So it's nice to have a few items that are smaller. Because not everybody can, go out and afford a $100 or $150 copper bowl. A larger one, of course, not the 3-inch diameter. But, so yeah, I started using it for that, and I absolutely love it. It's so much faster than the wooden one that I made. And the reason is because it's perfect. It's uniform. The wooden one that I made, I couldn't get it equal the depression. You know what I mean? So I had to hold on to it with a pair of tongs, and depending on the curve, the arch, whatever, the impression that I wanted, you'd have to hold it in the exact same location or close to it. So you had to keep spinning the copper, But this, you heat it up, you throw it in the depression, you hammer away, you're done. So anyways, there it is. I hope you guys liked the video. I know it was short and sweet. Check out Holland Anvil and check out Christ-Centered Ironworks. Thanks, guys.